Good day, everyone. Welcome back to the Doc of Detox show. Today's show is part 2 of Blue Light 5G Toxicity. And like I said before, welcome to the harvest, but welcome to an education that's going to change all of this. Remember the sun, that dangerous sun that causes cancer? Well, do you know what the greatest healer is? It's the sun. Did you also know that the number of healing frequencies delivered by the sun is 81 with 31 zeros attached to the end? And here you have the universe's greatest healing device. Understand this: light controls 100,000 biological chemical changes that happen every second within your body. Now that's amazing. So before you check your phone in the morning or open your computer, make sure you go out and greet the morning sunlight, preferably as soon as it rises. This one first step sets up your body's internal clock of life. This is your circadian rhythm clock. But use the sun responsibly. Never burn your skin. So try not to go out into the sun when it's at its peak between 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. Let me say something. You know those people that go out and they burn their skin? I'm going to tell you, whether you want to believe this or not, on a subconscious level, they're running a hate program. Because who would actually go out and microwave their skin unless they weren't in love with themselves? But understand, this is not a conscious choice. We're actually programmed, like I told you earlier, to kill ourselves. Think about all the things that you do that you know are not healthy for you, but you just continually do them without thought. You heard what I said. You better start thinking of yourself. You better start learning that self-love is the most important love. Self-care is the only health care. And that you better learn about self-protect, respect, and self-dignity. And then understand that God gave you this body. If you want to destroy it, go right ahead. But understand something. Awake up. You will not know you were asleep until you finally wake up. Remember, the bottom line, if you must look at your phone or computer first thing in the morning, put on your Tesla Lightwear glasses. You need to protect yourself, okay? You need to use things like fulvic eye drops. Don't burn your eyes out. It's not about just seeing clearly. It's about your brain functioning properly. We already know that now, okay? So stay strong, stay healthy by doing the right things. We have become so programmed and so spoiled by technology that we build our lives around the needs of society and instead of our own natural needs. Your lifeline is your light line. The light that we now have and live under for the majority of our day is artificial blue light. Blue light is creating everything from inflammation to diabetes to obesity to eye degeneration to cancer. Well, welcome to the harvest. Open your eyes and uncover their lies. Do you know what chaos is called when it comes to health? An inflammation nation. When there is chaos in your mind, there will be chaos in your body, and this will manifest as inflammation. Chaos, conflict, trauma, corruption, contamination. These are the things. These all stand for inflammation. Every basis of every disease is inflammation. Inflammation disturbs your electrons and your protons that are within your mitochondria, that are within your cells. All inflammation will cause your mitochondria to go into what we call a brownout. And when this happens, your mitochondria cannot make the energy that you need to support a healthy life. When this happens, hello calcification, then mutation, then cancer. Even when you're outside getting endless sunlight, if your mitochondria are in a brownout state, they cannot function properly or make the energy they need from sunlight. This creates huge problems for you. Not just on a physical level, but on an emotional level with the relationship you have with yourself and everyone else. We are not designed to live inside a power grid 24/7. Yes, technology does have a good side and it does create progress, but progress usually does not measure up to what we call a balanced, healthy lifestyle. Technology has caused us to spend more time inside rather than outside. And because of this, our insides are turning inside out with inflammation. The more time you spend outside, the longer you will live, the stronger you will live. So understand something. Let's make our smoke break a sun break and get outside as often as possible. When inside, it is important to wear Tesla lightwear to protect ourselves from the blue light toxicity given off by this modern day technology. And also, check out and download Iris or Flux for your computer and put the night shift setting on your cell phone. Iris is a program that you have to purchase for your computer, whereas Flux is a free download. These downloads will help reduce blue light toxicity, but will not prevent eye damage. Do you understand that? But it will reduce it. It's like just turning the burner down somewhat. Look it. When working on a computer or watching TV, wear clothing to protect yourself. Also, wear a scarf around your neck. Your thyroid is only a centimeter below your skin. Don't let radiation in. Yes, it affects your skin. It affects everything when you're inside under blue light. Your body is a solar panel and your eyes are the windows of your health. Look at 3 decades ago, Hashimoto's disease, which is thyroiditis, made up only 1% of thyroid disease. Today it makes up 98%. Do you want to know why? Because we've radiated our thyroid with blue light consistency by embracing technology without question or thought since the 1980s. And we haven't taken any extra precautions. Like I just mentioned, your thyroid is no more than a centimeter below the skin in the neck. Red light will penetrate into your body anywhere from 10 centimeters up to about 30 centimeters, and blue light will penetrate 3 to 6 centimeters in your body. When you're on your phone or the computer, you are showering your thyroid with radiation, so cover your neck. The more blue light your eyes take in, the fewer carbohydrates you can eat because it causes mitochondrial damage. When your mitochondria become damaged, you will find it harder and harder to digest carbohydrates. Did you get that? I hope you're getting this, okay? Your circadian rhythm is continually being disrupted and damaged by things such as blue light, eating out of season, traveling without protection, okay? The best way to protect ourselves when traveling is to take our jet lag fuel, drink structured water, apply peppermint essential oil to the bottoms of your feet and Thieves Plus on your throat, and take our ATP or Divine Vine elixirs, and never take off your Tesla lightwear, especially in airports and on airplanes. For added protection, you can put the Doc of Detox Cell Guard on your cell phone and use the Doc of Detox Bodyguard to protect your body against EMF and negative side effects of 5G. Look it. To prevent dry and irritated eyes, never travel without your fulvic eye drops. Oh, listen, you start using these, and I'll tell you something. You'll see your eyes come right back around, from floaters to dry eyes to inflammation, you name it, to burning eyes, to even with cataracts, glaucoma. It's going to help all of these things, reduce the inflammation, and you're going to reduce the destruction of those eyes. You must become a skeptic, though. You must become a skeptic like I am with everything when it comes to your health, because corporations are draining your health to harvest your money. Tell me they're not. Tell me I'm crazy. Ask yourself, why does medical health focus on the nuclear genome when in fact they know they should be focused on the mitochondrial genome? For this is where all answers lie when you get sick. They say when it comes to your health, look inside yourself. But when it comes to blue light and 5G, outside is the first place you must look if you wish to protect yourself. Ask yourself, is your environment nourished by nature, or is it being inflamed by modernization? Okay, is it being inflamed by AI, artificial intelligence? You must become a mitochondrial detective. Who and what is stealing your power and preventing you from healing? Otherwise, your mitochondria. Look it. You can get all the tests you want, but the most important test is opening your eyes and taking a look around to find out what is disturbing your mitochondria. The first thing you need to do when you are sick is to talk about the health of your environment, externally first and then internally. When it comes to your health, it is more important that you wake up before your mitochondria break up. What am I talking about? Well, is there a TV on 24/7 in your home? Is there a computer on 24/7? Is the Wi-Fi on in your house 24/7? Or do you shut it off when you're not using it? Do you shut it off when you go to bed? Are you a gamer? There's one for you. Are you watching TV all the time? Is your phone always in your face? What types of EMFs are in your environment? What types of EMFs are near your head? Or what type of EMFs are near your bed when you go to sleep? All these environmental toxicities need to be taken into consideration. Please read What the Cell is Going On in our Doc of Detox library. Understand, if we were correct in the functional medicine field, that it's all about what we eat, then why aren't we getting healthy? How many people do you actually see get turned around in the functional medicine field? Okay? They're not going to get turned around. Yes, we're going to bring the fire down. Yes, we're going to minimize the symptoms. But are we actually reversing their age? Are we actually helping them to be stronger and live longer? Are we actually giving them a pain-free body and a pain-free mind? I don't think so. Especially when people spend millions of dollars going to functional medicine doctors. If you don't know what really matters when it comes to true health in your life, then you will go down the rabbit hole and you may be there for years because you can never heal in the same environment that you got sick in. Your stress response to disease is directly tied to how healthy or unhealthy your metabolic system is. Listen. We all live in a blue light neon world. Here lies the problem. Blue light knocks down and locks down the vagus nerve and causes it to lose tone until it goes into a coma-like state. As the vagus nerve loses tone, it becomes inflamed, and to stop this inflammation from spreading, it will become crystallized and calcified. Calcium will actually be pulled from your bones, and crystallization will take place to that vagus nerve, which keeps us in a sympathetic state. When this happens, we will no longer be in a parasympathetic state, which is a relaxed state. We will be in a sympathetic state, which is fight, flight, and freeze state. Look at stress changes the balance of power between the parasympathetic and the sympathetic. And when the sympathetic gets all the power, the vagus nerve goes into a communication coma due to inflammation overload. I believe every disease is curable, but not every patient is curable because they are unwilling to alter their environment externally and internally when it comes to their health beliefs. Because the subconscious rules us whether our beliefs are good or bad, healthy or unhealthy. Understand something. If you're not going to look at your subconscious that houses all your prominent beliefs, which makes up your personality, which your personality guides your reality, then you are in trouble. One of the most inexpensive, most powerful daily routines that one can do for 5 minutes twice a day, okay, to awaken the vagus nerve and to return your nervous system back to a parasympathetic state where all healing takes place, is to incorporate belly button therapy. Okay? I want you to check out our website. Let me say something. How would you like to do 5-minute technique and pushing the most important button of your life, which is your belly button, and unleash 70% of your serotonin, 50% of your dopamine, and doing that in 5 minutes, and actually creating 25% extra stretch to the human body in 5 minutes, which usually takes anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes by doing yoga. You heard what I said. Check out our belly button therapy on our website, and this is truly amazing, okay? All right. The first and most important belief that you must embrace is that blue light is toxic no matter how much the world is turning a blue eye to it. Just because the majority of the population is doing something does not make it right. If you wish not to become a statistic, then break free from the herd and become the light that you seek. Let's now put the spotlight on one of the most inhumane and degrading technologies ever created. That would be 5G. Okay? So welcome to the real harvest. I want you to watch this 2-minute, 5-second video and then tell me if you think embracing 5G to have your movie downloaded a few seconds faster is important to you.
It's important to understand what the 5G is doing and what they say it's doing. We're told on the IEEE beam-forming document that this technology cooked your eyes like eggs in World War II. And you all need to understand these are military weapons. These are assault frequencies. If you garner nothing more than that, that's what you need to know. It's microwave radiation warfare, is what this is.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming to the National Press Club Federal Communications Commission Chairman Tom Wheeler.
It's an honor to be here at the National Press Club. The first generation wireless, 1G, was voice. The second generation, 2G, allowed both talk and text. The third generation, 3G, the internet, in a limited way. And today's technology, 4G, completed that digital migration. But if anyone tells you that they know the details of what 5G is going to become, run the other way.
This video is brought to you by the number 5 and the letter G. And pretty soon, everything else will be too.
I have to tell people 5G is a killer. I'm Mark Steele. Anybody who hasn't heard me, I'm a weapons systems head-up display expert, one of the leading experts in the world. I've actually broke cover in relation to this, and the reason I became an expert was because I invented them. What I'm going to say to you today, do not believe a single word I say. Not one. I want you to do your own research. You'll find it's absolutely terrifying.
To understand one thing, and this is very important that you get this, that blue light and 5G will be the greatest tragedy for our health the world has ever seen. We now have conclusive evidence to show that more... Okay, let's start again. We all need to understand this one thing. It's so important. And that is that blue light and 5G together will be the greatest tragedy for our health the world has ever seen. We now have conclusive evidence to show that the more congested the city, the more your longevity and health is now in jeopardy. EMFs are the new smoking. welcome to the harvest. In 1954, the tobacco industry founded the precursor to what is known today as the Council for Tobacco Research. This organization financed hundreds of so-called independent researchers who published several thousand peer-reviewed studies, the goal of which, as we now know, was to create controversy and considerable doubt about the link between smoking and the wide spectrum of life-threatening illnesses. Oh yeah, and they did a great job. The tobacco industry used arguments which claimed to be scientific, although insiders knew as early as 1950 that their product was dangerous, life-threatening to everyone and anyone's health that even used it. And what about secondhand smoke? In 1969, an internal note from a subsidiary of a leading tobacco firm stated, "Doubt is our product. Create doubt, make the sale at any cost." For decades, a group of cigarette companies referred to as Big Tobacco financed bogus scientific studies claiming smoking was perfectly safe. This tricked doctors, scientists, politicians, and smokers into a false sense of security. Hey, but listen to this. It doesn't end here. They even paid medical doctors to lie. Well, here we go again. Money before humanity. There were early warning signs that smoking was dangerous, but it took 50 years for the government to finally take action. Well, why didn't they? Well, because they got lobbied, okay? Because they got millions and billions of dollars from the tobacco industry, okay? Listen to me. It's still going on today. As you will see in a short time, these techniques are still extensively used today by telecommunication companies. The parallels with the tobacco industry are strikingly similar, although the tactics of the telecom companies have become much more ruthless due to their relentless lobbying of the untruth. However, this is where the comparison between the tobacco and telecommunications industry stops. Electromagnetic radiation, otherwise EMR, has no smell, and you can't see it. It is everywhere. You can't escape it. Thus, the consequences of biased science combined with the intangible nature of EMR are far more insidious and life-threatening to you and your family than smoking ever was. It doesn't even come close. Believing and putting our focus on food as the number one healer has and is crippling us as a nation, physically and emotionally. If I put a tarp over a tree, will it grow? I say no. Well, that's exactly what we have done with modern technology and our bodies. We have placed a tarp over ourselves and our families. We have become totally saturated in blue light, 5G, and EMF within the office, home, and every other public place. There will be no place to run, and there definitely is no place to hide. Today we are facing an even bigger health threat. EMFs, the radiation emitted by cell phones, Wi-Fi routers, and Bluetooth devices are just to name a few. Even if many doctors, politicians, and big wireless companies still claim that EMFs are perfectly safe, the early warning signs could not be any clearer. Here are 5 scientific facts proving EMFs are not safe by any means. Don't kid yourself. Don't let them BS you. Dysfunctional beliefs. And that's what they're going to do. They're going to make you choke this down. Well, here's 5 that you should listen to. Many leading EMF scientists say EMFs should be classified as a Class 1 definite carcinogen, just like smoking and asbestos. Number 2, the best functional medicine doctors in the world, like Dr. Dietrich Klinghardt, MD, PhD, have observed that EMFs are at the very root cause of many of these mysterious symptoms, including insomnia, fatigue, depression, and digestive issues, just to name a few. Number 3, New technologies like 5G fifth generation networks are being rolled out at a frantic pace. Did you ever notice something? When the government wants to pass something, they will do it on a holiday or when people are asleep at the wheel. Why would they be so frantically trying to get all this out? Well, zero biological studies have proven their safety. That's why. And there has been no studies to prove their safety. No human studies. Who's asleep at the wheel? You are. You're asleep at the wheel. Hey, what about your children and your children's children? Do you ever think about that? Number 4, EMF. Safety standards haven't been updated since 1996 and are based on short-term exposure to one device. Number 5. Growing children's brains are especially at risk as their head absorbs twice the radiation compared to adults. Regardless of the fact, a 2014 survey showed that up to 75% of 4-year-old children possess their own cell phone. Go figure. Money before humanity. Okay? Parents asleep at the wheel. Quitting smoking is doable, but what about secondhand EMF pollution? You could choose not to smoke or even avoid secondhand smoking, but secondhand EMF radiation is literally everywhere. Each time we jump from one generation of wireless technologies to another, the amount of EMFs we're all being exposed to increases exponentially. Take a look at these diagrams right here. In 1996, we had 2G. There was 17,000 antennas in the United States. In 2006, with 3G, we have 195,613 antennas in the United States. 2016 with 4G, 2,010 antennas in the United States. All right? 5G. This is what is proposed, okay? It's coming right now. And when they're done, there will be, with 5G, 13 million plus antennas by 2025 in the United States. I don't think anybody is alive from the neck up right now. I think all the blue light has totally just burnt their brains out because they're not even awake to see what's going on here. You know what? Go into any city and see how people with large high-rises or even in nursing homes or in hospitals have these large 5G antennas being placed on top of the roof to make more money. So here's the deal. Is 5G safe for humans? Well, the FCC guidelines are only based on heat. Are we kidding? Are we like kidding? There has been no consideration for adverse biological effects found at non-thermal levels in a multitude of studies on 2G, 3G, or 4G. In addition, 5G technology has a disturbing data gap with regards to research on human or environmental safety. And this is even admitted by the telecom industry themselves. I mean, these guys are so powerful because you're powerless because you don't believe you have any power as a human being. Are 5G wireless networks safe? The massive build out of locally based 5G wireless towers will increase human exposure to EMF radiation dramatically by increasing the number of people exposed to harmful millimeter radio waves of EMF radiation. Will 5G need towers? 4G required tall cell towers to blast signals over long distances. 5G will need hundreds of thousands of smaller towers. These small towers are about the size of a trash can, and soon there will be one on every street corner. Are you getting this? 5G will also run a new frequency that's never been used before and has never been tested on human safety. So I guess you realize how much you're worth, right? In my personal opinion, this is premeditated murder. This is population control at its worst. How does 5G affect the body? Well, 4G wavelengths travel along the surface of the skin. Wireless 5G, are you ready for this? Has the ability to penetrate into deep tissues of your body. The bottom line is, the higher the frequency, the more dangerous it is to living organisms. You thought inflammation was a problem before. You thought there was only 147 autoimmune diseases. Well, get ready for hundreds and hundreds. You thought that only 50% of the population was going to get cancer. Well, you can think again. You can think again. All right? The bottom line is, the higher the frequency, like I just said, the more dangerous it is to living organisms. 5G is going to emit 24 to 90 billion waves per second. Yes, you heard right. This translates into 24 to 90 billion waves hitting your body per second. This is going to drive right into your tissues, right into the bone, right into your blood. This will drive autoimmunity and cancer over the cliff. Anyone that is dealing with a life-threatening illness or the elderly will find that the future of their health will be in great jeopardy. 5G will create severe mood and behavioral problems for everyone, like we have never seen before. You think there's been shootings in schools and churches? Well, you just wait until you see what 5G and blue light do and coming together to create more chaos and more destruction than we've ever seen on this planet before. We have just welcomed in the harvest. We have just welcomed in the Third World War. And it is invisible and it is powerful. Listen, relationships will be stressed to the max with ourselves and everyone else. Did you know that 50 years ago, the rate of autism was 1 in 50,000 in male births? It's now 1 in 37 male births. Did you get that? 1 in 37. So what has changed in the last 50 years? The food, the drugs? Or was it that we went from using radio waves all the way to using 4G in the last 50 years and are now unleashing 5G? The human experiment of corporate greed, it's game on. Why isn't the general public making this connection? The reason is simple. The majority of the population is asleep at the wheel, and life is only worth as much as you're willing to protect it. Self-love equals self-care. And when self-care is absent, then so is self-love. What are you worth? Because when it comes to corporations, it's all about the money. Remember, corporations have no beating heart. Just a bottom line. Our entire economy is based on these toxic light waves to communicate. The problem with this type of communication is it's destroying our cellular communication to the point of turning on cellular mutation in all of us. Look, both Bill Gates and Steve Jobs would not even allow their children to use their technologies. What does this tell you? We are being controlled by blue light and 5G. Take it or leave it. But going from 2G to 5G is going to be the most drastic change in people's health over the next 20 years. This time in history will be known as the harvest, where corporations will strip us of our wealth and our health, and the world leaders will finally have their population control system in place, weeding out the weak and the unconscious. This will wake up every functional medicine doctor to the reality that it's not food first and foremost anymore. When your environment is sick, so shall you be. When they finally release 5G, which they've done already, it's rolling out right now. And they'll be doing it in the next few months, and it'll be gearing up until we become a microwave oven on this planet. Cancer and every other autoimmune disease is a mitochondrial disease, like I've said already. And when your mitochondria become damaged, inflammation sets in and disease follows right behind it. So unless you're going to rely on yourself, you will lose yourself and your mitochondria to a painful and shortened lifespan. We are all going to pay a biological toll for this 5G, all due to corporate greed. There will be total health devastation with 5G. Doctors will not be able to fix this next big problem with a prescription pad or with a supplement. Just understand, doctors do not have the power to get you well, because we are up against an invisible power that's going to take anyone and everyone down that has not learned how to master their mind so that they can master their life from the inside out and the outside in. Nature is the only one that has the prescription for you. We now must protect ourselves from the environment that they've created. We must protect ourselves from unknowing doctors. We must protect ourselves from the food and the telecom corporations and the systems that try to rule us. You are going to have to become strategic if you want to stay healthy. You're going to need to know how to create the perfect day for perfect health. We all need to become Braveheart heroes and become the light for ourselves and our family. God help us all. Because if we don't take massive action, we will end up as a terrible reaction of unhealth, toxicity, and inflammation. Make the biggest step that you will make to changing your family's health. Go to Doc of Detox Library and read the Perfect Day Guide, What the Cell is Going On, Fasting for Perfect Health, and the Braveheart Way Guide. You must become the light for your family. They need you. Listen to me. This is not a movie. This is real life. It's your life. 20,000 satellites will soon be put into orbit around the Earth to broadcast 5G microwave radiation over every square inch of ground on this planet. On Valentine's Day 2018, Elon Musk announced a plan to launch 12,000 low orbit satellites. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. These 5G satellites contain phased array antennas and will operate in the millimeter wave spectrum. In other words, 5G from space, millimeter wave spectrum, is the band of spectrum between 30 gigahertz and 300 gigahertz, wedged between microwave and infrared waves. What does this mean? This means we are trading our health for a quicker download. Are you ready for that? For a quicker download? For a quicker death. This webinar article is not about love, but let me ask you, where is the love in this scenario? Love is the answer, but without self-love, there will be no self-care, which is the only true health care. So let's get back to the story, or should I say, to this man-made horror story. The first two 5G satellites were launched by SpaceX in February of 2018. Hundreds more will be launched in 2019. The full set of 20,000 could be in orbit during the next 2 years. Each satellite will be the size of a mini refrigerator and weigh about 400 kilograms. An estimated of 12% of cellular operators say they will start commercial 5G service this year, according to an August study by IHS Markit. The bulk of 5G rollouts are expected in the subsequent years. Okay, here we go. Dr. Martin Pall's statement to the NIH. The 5G rollout is absolutely insane. Dr. Pall confirms that the current 2G, 3G, 4G radiation the population is exposed to has been scientifically linked with lowered fertility, insomnia, fatigue, depression, anxiety, and major changes in brain structure in animals, cellular DNA damage, oxidative stress, hormonal disruption, cancer, well, and much, much more. That's just the first few. Now, In a recent letter sent to officials of the European Union, Dr. Martin Paul from the Washington State University explained that 5G is being rolled out without a single, oh my gosh, are you getting this? Without a single biological test to prove its safety on human beings, animals, and nature. How are they getting away with this? Because you are not talking about this. Because you are not letting people know. We have to work together, okay? We are one people, one planet, one family. We have to stick together, people. You have to understand something, okay? This is equivalent to making new drugs available to the public without a single test proving their safety and efficiency. Listen, Dr. Paul is far from being alone. Hundreds of independent scientists and tens of thousands of concerned individuals worldwide have been sounding the alarm as well. And this has been going on for years, but where's your ears? So, what are the risks of 5G? Number 1, DNA single and double strand breaks, which leads to cancer. Number 2, oxidative damage, which leads to tissue deterioration, crystallization, calcification, and premature aging. Number 3, disruption of cell metabolism, leading to mitochondrial damage. Number 4, increased blood-brain barrier permeability. Number 5, melatonin reduction, leading to insomnia and increasing cancer risks. Number 6, disruption of brain glucose metabolism. Number 7, the human skin basically acts as an absorbing sponge for microwave radiation. That's just great. So now I'm fried like a steak. Number 8, millimeter wave interaction with bacteria could lead to antibiotic resistance. Oh, wait a minute, aren't we there already? This is distressing news considering immunity to bacteria is already compromised due to the overuse of antibiotics. Thank you very much. Number 9, plant irradiation of planet's flora. Did you get that? Plant irradiation of planet's flora, which will lead to contamination of our food supply. Can't wait. Number 10, the 5G infrastructure would pose a major threat to our planet's atmosphere. Number 11, 5G will potentially threaten all our natural ecosystems, according to several reports over the last 2 decades. Low-level, non-ionizing microwave radiation affects bird and bee health. It drives birds from their nests and causes plume deterioration, locomotion problems, reduced survivorship and death, and bee populations suffer from reduced egg-laying abilities of queen bees and smaller colony sizes. Beware of 5G propaganda, everybody, okay? They're going to try to sell this to us because of the faster browsing speeds, but the truth is, you'll barely even notice the difference. They're going to call anyone who protests against this 5G a Luddite or a technophobe. But why such a willingness to embrace another new technology, even though it carries such serious health risks to the whole planet? I say population control. Why not heed the lessons learned from killer products like asbestos, tobacco, and leaded gasoline? I will tell you why. Because there is a minority group that believe they own us. Some of us are heeding the call that it's life before movies. The state of Hawaii has stopped 5G and smart meters by collectively threatening to charge every person who installed such meters with liability for any health problems that residents suffer. Now, that's what I call take action. That's what I call take massive action. Where's your massive action? Where is your willingness to create a life for your children's children? That's what I want to know. Have you no love for yourself, so you have no love for anyone else? Is that what's happened? Is your heart broken so bad? Okay, are you numbed out from alcohol, drugs, prescription drugs, street drugs? Are you numbed out from blue light that you can't even turn the light on and understand that it's life or death? Look, it doesn't end here. Moreover, 180 scientists have started a petition to warn 5G potential health effects. Maybe these actions will afford more time for additional studies and data collection. Just as importantly, maybe they'll cause other politicians and figureheads to reflect on the suicide course they're pushing us toward unconsciously. It bears repeating. 5G is bad news for all living creatures and the planet we share. We must remember we are one planet. We are one people. And if we're not family, we're damned. We're going to be damned. How can I protect myself and my family from 5G? Number one, take massive action. As individuals, we must do everything we can to protect ourselves. Number two, eat a healthy plant-based diet. Number three, educate yourself as much as possible. Check out our library at docofdetox.com and read or watch The Perfect Day Fasting for Perfect Health, The Braveheart Way, the 12 Loving Steps video. And also read What the Cell is Going On and read 5G Blue Light Toxicity Guide. Look, number four, keep your distance as much as possible from a 5G phone because the beams of microwave radiation will follow a person who is holding the 5G phone, so stay the heck away from them. These beams of radiation have to be strong enough to penetrate walls and human flesh, such as hands and heads. You understand this? This is a device of mass destruction. Refuse to use 5G phones and devices. Educate and discourage those you know from doing so. Number five, whenever possible, limit your exposure. Use an anti-radiation headset or speaker mode while talking on any cell phone. Number six, understand EMFs and their behaviors. Measure radiation levels whenever possible. Get a good quality radiation detector to know whether or not you're near high levels of EMFs. You can buy one at safelivingtechnologies.co. The meter you will want to buy is Safe and Sound Classic Meter, which measures radio waves, otherwise wireless frequencies. It has an audible and visual display, comes with all instructions, it's small, portable, and it's really easy to use. Okay, so if you want, check that out. Number seven, protect your body from hot spots with an EMF shield, such as the Doc of Detox Bodyguard. Check it out on our website. Number eight, protect and reverse mitochondria and cell damage from negative EMT with a Doc of Detox Sentient Light Element, SAC Ionic Calcium, and ATP+. Check these out. Number nine, neutralize the harmful effects of mobile phones by placing a patented product such as a Doc of Detox Cell Guard on the back of your cell phone. But don't be putting that cell phone in your pocket, okay? And don't put it in your bra. And don't put it on your arm when you're jogging. Do you know how many women get breast cancer on the same side as where they hold that? I'm not kidding. Don't mess with this. Number 10, protect your home as much as possible. Refuse to buy anything smart. Don't be dumb. Refuse to buy anything smart, such as a smart appliance, smart heaters, etc. Look at getting a Doc of Detox Wi-Fi for your home and office to collapse and neutralize all harmful EMFs in 5G. Number 11, no matter what, do not get a smart meter. And if you already have one, know your rights and have it removed, as these put high levels of 5G radiation right into your home, and know that they cause fires. Okay? So take a look on your screen right now, and you will see the link that you need to go to get more information. Understand, you don't have to have a smart meter, and smart meters cause house fires. Type it into YouTube and go take a look at the fires they create. These things are so hot. They're going to burn your home. They're going to burn you up. Number 12, create a low EMF sanctuary in your home, and especially in your bedroom. please check out What the Cell is Going On chapter in my book or up on Doc of Detox library. Number 13, spend more time with people and in nature. Return to your roots. Okay? All right. Okay? Number 14, again, I'm repeating it. You've got to read it. What the Cell is Going On and Blue Light 5G Toxicity Guide at the Doc of Detox library. All right? I want you to, if you watch this video, it's called Take Your Power Back. It's only just over 4 minutes. And tell me what you think of smart meters. See how smart they are and how asleep at the wheel we've been. Thank you.
If Mr. Friedman has a concern about the safety of smart meters, he does not have to have them.
Is it PUC's decision that by allowing an opt-out, it can duck an obligation to consider the health or the trespass issues?
Your Honor, all of these issues were before the Commission in the earlier proceedings. The Commission had a proceeding on this and
But it
made a
didn't
determination.
decide any of those issues.
No, Your Honor, the Commission did not.
The Commission, in fact, declined to do the analysis to make the decisions about health and safety.
The remedy for all of the concerns in those proceedings was to offer an opt-out.
How about the members of the public that are not opting out? Isn't it the Commission's responsibility to look out for their health and safety? And to make a judgment as to whether they're being unreasonably exposed to RF?
Your Honor, nothing in the world can be made absolutely safe.
So are you admitting that they're not safe? Is it the PUC's position that these are safe enough?
Your Honor, the public is free to have whatever concerns it would have.
What the Commission is doing, as you present it, is saying it has declined to do the health and safety analysis. You're on your own.
No, the Commission instructed the utility to, in its communication plan, to provide information to all of its customers about smart meters and links to the science that is out there.
But Ms. McCollum, there's still all those people that have them. And for those people, you're saying that the state of affairs can be that the Commission can take no position on their safety?
And leave it up to the utility?
About a year ago, a good friend of mine got ill, and there was no apparent reason why. And then she realized that her electric utility had installed a new digital smart meter, a wireless electric meter, at the same time as she got ill. As I looked into it, thousands of people have had the same experiences. So I wanted to figure out, is this really happening? Are people truly getting sick because of radiation coming from electric meters?
So now you know why smart meters are dangerous. Look it. RF radiation is classified by the International Agency for Research on Cancer as possibly a carcinogenic to humans, because RF radiation is a possible carcinogen and smart meters give off RF radiation. It is possible that smart meters could increase cancer risk. Can smart meters cause health problems? Thousands of studies link biological effects to RF radiation exposure, including increased cancer risks, damage to the nervous system, adverse reproductive effects, DNA damage, and more. What are the side effects of smart meters? Okay, here we go. Electromagnetic hypersensitivity, or in other words, that radiation from these devices, such as smart meters, will cause dizziness, fatigue, headaches, seizures, memory loss, insomnia, tinnitus, heart arrhythmia, palpitations, decreased immune function, irritability, and decreased cognitive function. Need I say more? Some of the other side effects, are you ready for this? Other side effects: alteration of heart rhythm, altered gene expression, altered metabolism, altered stem cell development. This is not good. Cancers, cardiovascular disease, cognitive impairment, DNA damage, increased free radicals, learning and memory deficits, impaired sperm function and quality, neurological damage, obesity, diabetes, oxidative stress, autism, ADHD, and asthma in children. Oh, and guess what? How about miscarriage? And speaking about miscarriage, I'd like you to watch, okay, this 1 minute, 45-second video, okay, called Wireless Warfare Exposed. And you're going to find out why miscarriages are going to go through the roof and are going through the roof. So watch this video and then tell me what you think.
Did you know that in China, pregnant women are required to wear special shielded clothing that protects their unborn children? I didn't either. Protect them from what? This apron, commonly used by pregnant Chinese women, uses special fabric that shields the embryo from RF or microwave radiation, like the kind that comes out of your cell phone and Wi-Fi routers. Did you know that in Israel, the parliament approved a bill requiring all cell phones for sale have this label? Warning. The health ministry cautions that heavy use and carrying this device next to the body may increase the risk of cancer, especially among children. I didn't know that, nor did I know that in 2011, the World Health Organization reclassified RF radiation, or microwave radiation, as a Class 2B carcinogen. That's the same category as lead. This video is probably one of the most important exposés that I've done so far because the subject matter deeply impacts every single one of us. It impacts our families, our friends, our children, and our unborn grandchildren. It's why scientists with the most experience with these microwave frequencies are saying things like this.
I think anyone who puts Wi-Fi into a school should be locked up for the rest of their life. I really do. I think they're not fit to walk on the surface of this planet because they haven't looked at the research, they don't read all of the papers as I do.
And by the end of this video, you're going to know why he said that. There was a line from the George Orwell book 1984 that said, "The people will not revolt. They will not look up from their screens long enough to notice what is happening." Are we there yet?
So as you can see, I've done my homework. Are you going to do your homework? Because your health and maybe even your life and your family's life is depending on you. We just need one Braveheart hero from every family. Somebody to take massive action and come up against everybody else's subconscious beliefs. Can you hold the loving line? Can you make the change that needs to happen? Because the only change that will ever make a difference in your life is going to have to happen in your mind first. And that means you're going to have to change your beliefs. But once you change your beliefs and you change just parts of your personality, you're going to change your whole reality. and be the light for your whole family. So let's get back to our little story. Can I refuse to have a smart meter? Energy companies have been asked to take all reasonable steps to install smart meters in every home, while Britain has set itself an ambitious target of offering every home a smart meter by the year 2020. You do have the right to refuse a smart meter if you don't want one. Do as the Hawaiians have done and threaten smart meter and 5G tech installers with liability. You can learn how to do this at the link that you're going to see pop up on the screen right now. You need to take action. Even if the policy drivers and government are not doing their due diligence, at least you can say you're doing yours. So take your power back, or even better still, stop giving it away. So understand this, even before 5G was proposed, dozens of petitions and appeals of international scientists, including the Freiburger Appeals signed by over 3,000 physicians, called for a halt to the expansion of wireless technology and a moratorium on all new base stations. In 2015, 215 scientists from 41 countries communicated their alarm to the United Nations and the World Health Organization. They stated that numerous recent scientific publications have shown that EMF affects living organisms at levels well below most international and national guidelines. More than 10,000 peer-reviewed scientific studies have demonstrated harm to human health from RF radiation. Oh, and you know what? Take your power back. Take your power back. Let's take our world back, okay? Just like some people are allergic to specific foods, Dr. Magna Havas from Trent University in Ontario explains that some people are known to react to specific sources of EMFs, such as cell phones, Wi-Fi routers, or utility smart meters. Make sure that you watch my exclusive interview with Dr. Magna Havas, who is one of the top researching doctors in the world on EMF. Go to YouTube or docofdetoxshow.com for this groundbreaking interview with Dr. Magna Havas. You don't want to miss this. All right, so cellular damage of 5G goes well beyond the human race, as there is abundant evidence of harm to diverse plant and wildlife and laboratory animals, including your forests, fruit flies, plants, trees, birds, frogs, honeybees, mice, rats, ants, insects, and mammals. Very recently, scientists have discovered that EMFs from cell phones, Wi-Fi routers, and cell towers activate, you're going to love this. Okay, I need you to really, really listen to this. This is really important. Very recently, scientists have discovered that EMFs from cell phones, Wi-Fi routers, and cell towers activate countless microscopic sensors that are found on the surface of every one of your cells. That's right, every one of the cells in your body. When these voltage sensors are exposed to foreign EMF signals, your cells get tricked into allowing large amounts of calcium to flow inside the cell, causing calcification of the mitochondria. There you go, guys. There you go. Now you got it. Now you can understand why your mitochondria are unhealthy. Now you can understand where all the calcium is going from your bones, okay? And you need to understand this. It is calcifying your mitochondria, okay? And also understand this, that we now are able, with our products, to be able to get the calcium out of the mitochondria and back into the bones. And do you know what that means? That means everything. So understand this also. Healthy mitochondria will spin 2,500 revolutions per second, whereas the more calcified they are, the sicker they are, and the less that they will spin, which means the less that they will make ATP, which means the less that you'll have energy. And we know that ATP and health have a direct correlation to each other. And like I just said, the less ATP you have, the sicker you are, the more inflamed you are, and the more you are heading towards autoimmune diseases and even cancer. Okay? Now, in his 2013 groundbreaking paper, Dr. Martin Pall has shown that extremely low levels of EMFs can activate the cell's voltage gated calcium channels, leading to 14 distinct downstream biological effects such as oxidative stress, DNA breaks, melatonin depletion, infertility, and cancer, just to name a few. Calcium is your body's most health-supporting mineral. It performs over 100,000 hormonal and chemical functions every second. But understand this, too much calcium inside the cell causes a breakdown in cellular communication, which leads to calcification, inflammation, and even mutation. This is why the Doc of Detox SAC ionic calcium is the greatest nutritional scientific breakthrough in decades. It is not just life-changing, it is life-saving, and is the only calcium product that will return displaced calcium back into your bones, balance blood pH, and restores tissues and organs back to a vibrant, healthy state. Put simply, EMFs are an added stress to every single cell in your body, whether you personally feel EMF-related symptoms or not. Do you get this? You know what? I don't feel a thing. Well, I'll tell you something. That's not great. You know, it's just like O-type people saying, I can eat all the protein I want, but then they find out that they have this melon-sized tumor in their abdomen. Not a great thing. Now I would like to play one more 6-minute video for you before we conclude our health education on 5G blue light toxicity. Okay? This is actually a video of a UN staff member pleading to be listened to. Let's see how that goes over and see how she's being played. Okay?
Mr. Secretary General, UN staff have repeatedly been told that they are the most important resource of this organisation. Since December 2015, the staff here at the Vienna International Centre have been exposed to off-the-scale electromagnetic radiation from Wi-Fi and mobile phone boosters installed on very low ceilings throughout the buildings. Current public exposure levels are at least 1 quintillion, that's 18 zeros, 1 quintillion times above natural background radiation, according to Professor Olle Johansson of the Karolinska Institute in Sweden. The highly dangerous biological effects of EMFs have been documented by thousands of studies since 1932, indicating that we may be facing a global health catastrophe orders of magnitude worse than those caused by tobacco and cigarettes. Mr. Secretary General, on the basis of the precautionary principle, I urge you to have these EMF-emitting devices removed immediately from these buildings and to call a halt to any rollout of 5G at UN duty stations, because 5G is designed to deliver concentrated and focused electromagnetic radiation in excess of 100 times current levels in the same way as do directed energy weapons. In line with the UN guiding principles on business and human rights, to protect, respect and remedy, 5G technologies must be subjected to an independent health and safety assessment before they are launched anywhere in the world. There is currently an international appeal signed by 237 EMF scientists from 41 nations urging the UN and particularly the WHO to exert strong leadership in fostering the development of more protective EMF guidelines, encouraging precautionary measures and educating the public about the considerable health risks, particularly the risks to children and fetal development. Mr. Secretary General, I think we have a unique opportunity here at the UN office at Vienna. Since our medical records are digitized, you have the choice and the possibility of releasing data on a closed population exposed to off-the-scale levels of electromagnetic radiation in a metal-walled building, which exacerbates the situation, to establish if there have already been abnormal health consequences for the UN staff here in the last 28 months. I urge you to do so and stop any rollout of 5G immediately. Thank you.
Sorry, because we are talking with someone that is a little bit ignorant on these things. You're talking to the Wi-Fi systems?
On the ceilings of these buildings, Wi-Fi boosters and cell phone boosters were installed without consultation, without information to staff in December 2015. The situation here is extremely dangerous. I have heard anecdotally of many people who have had health problems. I don't know if they are related, but the precautionary principle would dictate that we use our medical records to look into this and that we remove these dangerous devices immediately. Thank you.
Well, I become worried because I put those devices in my house.
Not a good idea.
I will have to, I confess my ignorance on this. We will have to, but I'm going to raise this with WHO, which I think is the organization that might be able to deal with it properly, for them to, put someone, their staff or organizations to work on that, because I must confess I was not aware of that danger. To the extent that I put those things in the rooms of my house, in the ceiling.
I would suggest that everybody start looking into this issue, and particularly into 5G, which 237 scientists from 41 countries consider a threat that is far worse than the tobacco and the cigarette and the asbestos threats of the past.
Well, maybe I have learned something completely new, and I hope it will be very useful to me, but I confess it's the first time I hear about it.
Do you know what I say? Forget the government. Forget healthcare, because Superman's not coming. It's up to you. It's called self-care. It's called self-love. It's called self-respect, self-protect, self-honor. If only 30% of the population were to wake up to the laws of nature, we would be ensuring a future for our children's children. You now have a choice to remain a victim or become a braveheart hero, where you are the light that guides your family back to whole body healing on a physical, emotional, and spiritual level. Take your power back. Better still, stop giving it away and unleash your God-given potential to rise to your greatness. Thank you for joining me. I'm Dr. Darrell Wolfe. Learn to master the mind so that you can master your whole life. God bless. If you're looking for life-saving and life-changing information, well, you've come to the right place. Don't forget to click and subscribe. Stay connected.